What's up, YouTube? So just from the few messages that I've received from other 17, 18, 19, 20-year-olds who are understanding the importance of getting into real estate sales, not only to build their skills, but also to develop themselves on the financial business side and to get a head start in life. I have seen, and with myself personally experienced, how age or the perception of age can make it seem like real estate sales is a very daunting business, intimidating business. And it's a valid thought, something very common that I assume most 17, 18, 19-year-olds will have. Let's say if you're below 23. It's a valid thought because whenever you're entering into a new space, you're always going to have some sort of imposter syndrome, and that's not isolated to just real estate sales, and it's not isolated to just age. Any new endeavor that you take on will always have some modicum of imposter syndrome because you do not feel like you are qualified for whatever position that you're in. And if you do feel like you're qualified, then you're probably setting the bar too low for yourself. It's good to always place a bit of uncertainty with whatever it is that you're doing. Uncertainty meaning you feel like you don't know what you're doing. And that's where growth happens. A lot of growth happens from situations where you have to raise your standards to the bar that is given to you. And assuming that you got into business for the right reasons and not just for a quick buck, you want to learn skills, you want to develop your business sense, you want to develop experience for yourself. That's a good standard that you have applied for yourself, especially when you're 17, 18, 19, 20, when everybody else is doing, whatever that they're doing, nothing productive. You have set the bar high for yourself in wanting to get a head start out of, your 20s, which is very good. So when you have this imposter syndrome or this feeling that you are not qualified to sell anybody's house or to help people buy a house, understand that you are coming from your previous world experience of being in middle school, high school, or just working a typical cashier job at a typical high schooler's job. You are evolving from that previous state and now ascending that towards a higher state where you are handling more responsibilities, you are communicating with people that have higher net worth, better networks, and you are forced to improve your skill sets. And if you're doing any of those three things or anything in general that relates to business, and if this is your first experience in business, it is natural to feel some sort of anxiety and a little bit of fear with what you're dealing with. So notice how I didn't say it was related to age. Age is just a number in many situations. And the second most relatable thing I could relate to age is wisdom. Wisdom doesn't come with age. Wisdom comes with experience and insight and open-mindedness. There are people who are super old, 3 times older than I am, that I could argue have probably the same wisdom that I do. And that's not to exaggerate things. A lot of people have the wisdom of their younger selves, of their 20-year-old self, and their mental model of the world fits a very naive structure. And sometimes it can be the case where someone who is very young can have a much more complex understanding of the world around them. So age doesn't matter when it comes to starting business. It's how you exude your confidence in the skills that you learn in the field and how well you apply them. So, given that you have imposter syndrome, which is completely normal, after a certain period, when you do everything right, when you practice your scripts, when you go on appointments, when you prospect, door knock, cold call, do open houses, if you do all the critical tasks necessary in your business, and you do it consistently, and you track your results and you reflect on them, the imposter syndrome will go away because you know you are doing all the right things, and subconsciously, that anxiety, that fear, the apprehension will take care of itself. And when results start to show, then that's when you can really say to yourself that you have raised your standard, your working standard, to that of your new model of life. So that's part of growth. And part of being a growing individual is embracing discomfort. So if it's a new venture for you, congratulations, this is something that's really good for you. And it will definitely help mold your character, strengthen your character, and make you a better individual, given that you do things ethically and you do it for the right reasons. So stay strong, stay in business, make sure that you do things the right way, and always reflect on what you want, because without clarity, nothing is really going to take shape in your life. Hope that helps.